guys, the first gear you're going to do is this is your 16 tooth gear on the forward shaft that you're going to install in place of the 19 tooth. Take your shim off, put it back on the same way. Just slide this gear off right here real careful like. I would recommend, add a little bit of motor oil to your needle bearings just so they're good and greased up. And just slide your 16 tooth gear on. Put your shim back on. And your forward gears should be ready to go back in the bike. Next is our reverse gear. You've got a 13 tooth gear replacing a 16 tooth gear. And it's actually designed a little bit differently where this actually separates, comes apart. This is actually one solid piece, which is I think actually nice. Better, less pieces to worry about. So you can, remember there's a shim there. Don't forget about that. We'll take this guy and you have a shim on this side as well. Just slide the shaft out. Pull that guy out. Like so. Put your shim back on. There you go. This is a 38 tooth, 41 tooth. You got a larger final drive output shaft. On the reference information that I was going by, it actually said to order this washer because the one that was in like his 06 was a smaller washer, which gave some issues with the, with it just not being as good pushing up against the housing assembly. But the washers in this case are the same size, so I am not going to install the one I ordered. If you happen to have an 08, I think the Honda apparently did step up to the larger washer, so there's no need to replace it. Off, out with the old, in with the new. Again, I note the markings on the shift fork facing outwards, just in case. It makes a difference. You're on the good. Okay guys, here's another tip for you. This sensor right here, which is your gear position sensor, this little guy actually swings to the right and to the left based on the position of the shaft. So the reason that's important is because if while you were working on your bike, disassembling it, cleaning up your case, if you happen to turn this guy, you got to make sure it's lined up right to fit back into that notch, or you'll run into some interference. So you want to make sure it is lined up, or when you take it apart, just don't turn it. to make sure the the gasket is in the right position, as good as it can be, even though you're not ready to really put these bolts in. See where this gasket's got a little bit of give on it. If you take your bolts that you're actually going to take back out and get those in there, you know, just to make sure that everything is not in interference. I've already torqued them to 40 inch-pounds. Just split the difference on the torque requirements, and then I'm going to go around and torque them all to 84 inch-pounds. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but 84 inch-pounds is pretty good resistance when you put it on a torque wrench. And always do them in a crisscross pattern. Okay, first mistake. Forgot to put this guy on this side, and also the one on the other side. So could you call that 2 mistakes? So now I need to pull these bolts back out, put these brackets on. This is what holds your engine covers on. Next, we're going to go ahead and put a little oil in that starter gear reduction, or I think starter torque limiter, I mean. One thing to point out before you put this cover on is make sure you put a little bit of sealant right here. It'll ensure that rubber fitting that goes through the housing doesn't leak oil. Next, we're going to install the starter reduction gear. There's a little spot for it to set. I probably would put a little oil on the shaft where it inserts into the housing, just so it doesn't run dry. Okay, and you should run into some resistance when you try to put this guy on, because the magnets are going to grab from the alternator onto the flywheel. So you will notice that, just like it just did. So you got to fight it just a little bit, but not bad. Next, you're going to do the same 7 foot-pounds 84 inch-pound torque on all the bolts that hold the alternator cover on. So, you know, do a crisscross pattern, get them good and evenly torqued. I'm going to start with 40, and then I'm going to go around and do them at 84. And go ahead and put on your pull starter pulley. Torque it to 80 foot-pounds. Guys, just go ahead and put your your pull starter cover back on. It's also probably a good idea while you're doing that, before you do that, go ahead and grease that pull starter pulley up real good, clean it up, blow it out good with air hose, so it will actually work when you need it, maybe. Depends on how much mud riding you do. Install your oil filled tube, or probably put a little bit of cup grease on the tube itself so it goes in and sets good in the O-ring that's down in there. Would not hurt to do that. Note to self: put the oil filled tube in first before you put the shifter linkage back on, because the shifter linkage gets in the way of the top screw for the oil filled tube. Not that big of a deal, but so you guys don't make the mistake, I made it for you.
get a picture of the master Honda mechanic.
Yeah. I'll probably put in there my inspiration and my technical advisors helping me tonight. Following master Honda guy.
No strength in my left shoulder anymore. I got to be at the right angle to use it.
You're left-handed and you don't wore it out over 70 years. Good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get the front one. Whatever you do, do not forget to put the oil back in the bike. Bad things happen when they don't have oil in them. That is my public service announcement for today. Well guys, that about wraps it up for this installation. Everything works like it should. Got a noticeable increase in torque. I would say if you're an intermediate mechanic and got a few tools, torque wrenches and whatnot, you could definitely do this yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was informative. If you have time, check out my YouTube site. Got a few other cool four-wheeling videos, a couple how-tos you might enjoy watching. And until next time, you guys have a good day.